Hi again, day 13 of the Ultimate Reset, and continuing to feel really good. Actually, I guess the most interesting thing that happened is last night I slept like a rock, and I usually feel like I need about 8.5 hours of sleep to get really good sleep, but I probably only got about maybe 7.5, and I felt great. I woke up on my own around like 5:45 or so, and I was wide awake and I felt really good. I didn't feel drowsy. I didn't feel like I had a restless night's sleep at all, which I often do, even though I tend to get up early, not quite that early on my own. So I thought that was good. I liked that. I liked that feeling. Also yesterday what was interesting is I had to be out and about, and I had to manage my food a little bit more, and I knew there was going to be about probably a 7-hour gap between when I was going to take my lunch and then my dinner. And first of all, before the Ultimate Reset, I was accustomed to eating every 4 hours. That's just, it's what I do. I mean, it's actually pretty good for your metabolism, so that's what I would do. And this is not, you can have a snack, but they really try to dissuade the snack. There's a fly here, I'm sorry. They try to dissuade the snack, so I try not to have a snack unless it's really necessary. So anyway, I managed it really well. I made sure to cook my dinner earlier in the morning so that all I had to do was kind of come home and heat it up, and I was starving, so that was, I'm really glad I did that, because that would have been rough to have to make that dinner right when I got home when I was so hungry. I also had stopped at the grocery store while I was hungry because I had to pick up more distilled water, and that's of course a dangerous situation. And what I realized was, how many things there were at the grocery store that I was so hungry, and I thought, 3 weeks ago I probably would have grabbed one of these things, and because it would have been easy to eat, I would have felt immediately, satisfied, but it wouldn't have been necessarily good for me. It would have been processed and kind of somebody else preparing it, so you don't really know what's going on. And it was a real wake-up call for me. I thought, wow, and one of the lessons I learned, in fact, I posted this, I have a Facebook page, Dr. Anita, and kind of I'm a pretty disciplined person, and I kind of go in and out with that. Like, there's times when I'm more disciplined than others. Obviously, we're all like that. But with this one, what I noticed, what the kind of the insight that I'm getting is it's actually more important what you say no to in your life as opposed to what you're saying yes to. So, I could eat all the right foods and take all the right supplements at all the right times, but if I'm saying yes to, kind of giving into bread or a piece of pizza on top of all that, then I'm really undermining things. And so it just highlighted for me the importance of, when you have a goal, it's not just about what you need to do to get to that goal. It's also about what you need to not do to get to that goal. And I think that's where your real seat of power is, so to speak, is what you don't do, what you say no to. And I don't know, it was just very obvious to me when I was at the grocery store last night. So I thought it was, it's kind of, a roundabout way the message that I try to send to my clients, but it, just kind of came to me in a more, obvious way. So I hope that's helpful for you. I feel confident in saying I'm down 4 pounds now, which I'm obviously very excited about. I didn't, I'm not overweight or anything. I didn't need to lose a whole bunch of weight. I'd love to drop about 10 pounds total. So I was hoping this would kind of give a jump start towards that, and it seems to be working. Last night I also watched a very interesting movie. It was about, Vegucated. So it was on Amazon Prime. If you have Amazon Prime, you could stream it for free. And it was fascinating. It followed 3 people, New Yorkers, who are kind of diehard meat eaters, as they were on a 6-week quest to become vegan. And it was just very interesting, the journey they went through and how they ended up at the end, and the lessons that they learned. And I would recommend it if you're interested in food and where our food comes from. It got a lot into the ethical aspect of meat eating, or I guess becoming vegan, and that one doesn't really tug at my heartstrings like it does for a lot of people. I mean, I'm not certainly in favor of abusing animals, but I do actually see value in animal protein and people eating animal-based meat. So, the fact that they get slaughtered, and now the manner in which it happens, I'm not thrilled about, and it doesn't have to be quite that way. So, there's probably progress to be made there. but it's not like it's so offensive to me that it would cause me to want to not eat meat. Now, I may not want to eat meat because I feel better when I don't, but the reality is when I get back to exercising, which I plan to do when this is over, I think it'll be really tough for me to remain vegan and not eat meat and exercise. And I know people out there can and do, but I also know that protein, which I know vegetarians and vegans can get adequate protein with this lifestyle, but you know what? It's hard. Not all protein is the same, and you need to know that just because there says something is 5 grams of protein, it doesn't mean it's a complete protein. That the protein in an item, if it's not meat, not animal-based, is not going to be a complete protein. There are amino acids that make up proteins, and even if a food source has all the essential amino acids, it may not have them in the correct proportions that your body needs. And it's actually very complicated. And so I think a lot of vegans and vegetarians, if you don't go a little bit deeper into what a protein is, kind of miss that important part of the lifestyle. So I may or may not be willing to go into depth to try to figure all of that out in order to remain, mostly vegan, because like I said, I can't see me permanently giving up meat. Anyway, this is a little bit longer than what I had planned, but I hope it was informational for you. And again, if you're planning on doing this, I think that you'll have a great experience. You'll certainly learn a lot about yourself. You'll challenge yourself in really great ways, and it will tell you what you're capable of doing, which is kind of always good. So I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow on what will be day 14, my last day of the detox.